The Knicks postgame show is presented by Tri-State Audi. Visit your Tri-State area Audi dealer today. OG Anunoby against his former team in the last meeting had 31. Tonight he had 27. And Karl-Anthony Towns back after the one-game absence, 27-13. Knicks poured on in the second half, snapped their three-game losing streak, beat the Raptors 112-98. Hi, everyone. It's great to have you with us here. Bill Pidto along with Wally Szczerbiak. So the season-long losing streak, only 3 games, goes by the boards. Knicks an excellent second half, and they win basically going away tonight.
Yeah, and you see how important Karl-Anthony Towns is to this team. Knicks lacking at the center position. That's why they went to go make that move. When he's out there on the floor, everyone's roles fit perfectly into place. OG Anunoby gets a lot of good looks at the basket. Josh Hart gets the looks he can take advantage of. When he drives to the basket, there's a reason why he gets to the basket with no shot blocker, because the shot blocker's out there trying to defend Karl-Anthony Towns at the three-point line. He is very important to this Knicks team. That's a very good win. And on the other side, the Raptors, fully healthy, they did not show up tonight. That was a very interesting game, the way they played.
Raptors have now lost 14 out of the 15. R.J. Barrett did have 16. Emmanuel Quickley did have 22, but it was all Knicks in the second half. They led, Wally, only by 4 at the half. What was the big difference as they started to pull away in the third quarter?
Well, they got consecutive stops. That was the big thing. They started to really establish their defense. Karl-Anthony Towns was swallowing up rebounds. And then overall, that's what good teams do. They make a few adjustments at halftime, and they come out and throttle teams in that third quarter. The third quarter is important to set the tone. That's when the game is dictated to carry into the fourth quarter. Look at how open these shots are. I mean, the Knicks, when they had their full complement of players, their system and their pieces fit perfectly. And we saw that tonight. Obviously, the Knicks are front-loaded with their starting 5. You know, that's where all the Bucks are going. That's where all the stars are playing. And this starting 5 played a really good game. And then they also got some contributions. I think this was the best game I've seen Landry Shamet play off the bench. He's keeping the ball alive for Precious Achiuwa. And one thing about Precious Achiuwa, it doesn't matter how many minutes he gets, and remember, this is against his old team, he seems to always bring it every single night.
You mentioned Shamet, 8 points for him. That's a Knicks high. This is the 200th win for Tom Thibodeau as Knicks coach. Key number, 3-point shooting. We talked about the last 8 games, the Knicks shooting 29% from downtown. Much better tonight, Wally, at 12 for 33. You see the rest of the numbers, and what really helped the 3-point shooting, OG Anunoby, who over his last 20 games from 3, shooting like 28%. Tonight, 4 of 6 from downtown, as he goes for those 27 points.
Yeah, that's a great sign, and it happens because you have such a big-time threat back in the lineup in Karl-Anthony Towns. And Karl-Anthony Towns draws a lot of defense. OG Anunoby is not the guy that's going to get a lot of plays called for him, but I love the way he hustled down the floor. He got a couple easy buckets just by running hard in transition. Then when you get those kind of points, then the threes start to fall. The defense is always outstanding. Just complete lockdown D on R.J. Barrett and company with his active hands. But look at these open shots. I mean, this is great ball movement. This is the Knicks turning really good defense into early offense. Those type of plays when other teams try to guard Anunoby with a smaller defender, he's got to take advantage. He stole, I like to liken it to, he stole 10 points tonight. So of his points, 10 of them were just points that you didn't expect. You didn't have to run a play for him. You didn't have to get him an assist. He just found himself 10 points by taking advantage of mismatches in transition. Those type of things really help a player like him get going offensively.
All right, so Anunoby 27, Cat 27. Monica McNutt helped call the game on ESPN New York, the radio broadcast. She now joins us. Monica, what do you think about the victory tonight?
Last part again, Pidto. What do I think about who?
The win. The
win. Okay, got it. Great. You get back. First of all, you know I love wins when you have the opportunity to allow the starters for this unit to get some rest. And so I think taking care of business so that the bench could come in for that last 245, considering what's ahead this weekend, is a big deal. Also, 3-point shooting. You know, in the last 3 games, the 3-point shooting difference from the first half, 3-point efficiency from the first half to the second half, dropped like 20 percentage points. It goes from in the 30s to 14. And so to see this team be able to hit threes in both halves, I think is a good sign. And Coach Tom Thibodeau said at pregame that, shooting is sometimes you hit slumps, and that's part of the game. And so I like the way that overall this team shot the ball. Obviously, you want to see Mikal and Jalen get a little bit more efficient. But I think there was a lot of good tonight, including the defense in the second part of the third quarter and into the fourth.
Monica, Cat is back, and boy, does he make a difference in this Knicks team, doesn't he?
Wally, undeniable, okay? The Cat impact beyond the double-double, which speaks for itself in terms of his productivity, his gravity and the way that he can pass guys open off of cuts and such, the way that defenses have to shift and load to him. You could see at points the puzzle that he posed for Rajakovic and his staff, because Scotty Barnes was guarding him at one point instead of Jacob Hurdle. And so I think that firepower, when the Knicks are at their best, it is when Karl-Anthony Towns is on the floor, and that's not even up for discussion.
Monica, we talked a lot in the pregame about the Knicks bench. Wally and I mentioned before you came on, Landry Shamet, best game as a Knick in terms of points, at least, with 8. He made a very valuable contribution tonight.
Yeah, and Pat and I were tracking this on the radio as well. You'll look and say, okay, 14 bench points, cool. But when you look at the time that they were on the floor, they were able to extend the leads out, right? There was a stretch where we literally talked about this in the first half, and the lead seemed to dwindle, but by the time you looked up, it was back to that 10-point margin that was the largest margin, at least in the first half of the ball game. So I think you saw good investments, good opportunities to help build some confidence both ways for the guys when they step on the floor and for the coaching staff to know that they can be on the floor.
All right, Monica, as always, we appreciate it. We will see you on Friday night.
Sounds good.
I mentioned Shamet with Monica, and important for him tonight because, again, Deuce McBride's still out. 5th straight game missed with a bad hamstring.
Yeah, and Tom Thibodeau loves his defense. I look, he's coming off an injury, so timing, shot making, stuff like that, that's going to come. But I'm watching the way he's moving out there on the floor. He glides out there on the floor. He's known for his defense. He can guard multiple positions, and he has good size for a guard. So he's not going to get overpowered, and he's not going to get outsized. I think that's one thing Tom Thibodeau loves about him. You love to see, though, a couple buckets here and there, making quick decisions, quick moves, because he's always going to be a safe play on the defensive end of the floor. It's good to get some buckets, though, to fall.
All right, Jalen Brunson, again, didn't need to do a lot for the Knicks to win. 13 points, did have 7 assists and 6 rebounds. But it was Cat and OG Anunoby leading the way. Josh Hart, by the way, had 21. Tom Thibodeau's postgame comments. His 200th win. His reactions coming up.
The Knicks postgame show is presented by Audi. Visit your tri-state Audi dealer today.
Welcome back, everyone, as the Knicks snap their 3-game losing streak and beat the Raptors tonight. They're now 3-0 against Toronto this year, the final 112-98. Back now from the corner 3, presented by Michelob Ultra Superior Light Beer. So Friday night, OKC is in town. Another showdown between the Knicks and the Thunder after the Knicks lost to the Thunder last Friday night. Then the Knicks will host Milwaukee on Sunday afternoon and play host to the Pistons on Monday. So the string of home games continues. Time now to listen into the postgame comments from Knicks coach Tom Thibodeau, as always, presented by Chase.
Congratulations on your 200 win as a Knicks head coach. What changed the course of the game? It was close through the first half. Where did it change for you guys?
You know, I thought we came out with a really strong spirit of togetherness, and good things come from that. So they're a team that plays real fast, and they'll test you in terms of defensive transition. And I thought our guys responded well to that. And they're getting healthy. They got guys back quickly, being back. RJ's a load to deal with. Pirtle's big. Barnes is, a star in the league. So we knew that it would be a good test for us. And, I thought we played well overall. As the game went along, we got stronger and stronger. And that's what we have to strive towards. Each day, get better, make corrections, improve, understand that it's a long season. We have to keep growing. When we fall short, learn from it, and get ready for the next one. And I thought we had a great approach to the game.
24, 25 assists for the team. It felt like the best moments of the night, though, came when the ball really got moving. It seemed like there were some stagnant moments throughout the game, but you guys kind of really broke free when the ball got
Yeah, and they had good ball pressure, and I thought our cutting really helped. And I think that there were a number of shots that were generated that were really high-quality shots that we missed. And I know if we generate those type of shots, we're going to make. We've proven that we're a great shooting team. So keep focused on creating those shots. And I think getting some easy baskets was key for us as well. But, Cat gave us another guy, presence. OG was terrific on both ends, and, we needed that. I thought our bench gave us really good minutes, and I think that was important for us as well.
Getting Carl back in there, I know he missed one game, but it seems like that helps open things up, even not just his 27, but.
Yeah, I think it gives you another option, and not only from the high post, but from the low post. And he commands a lot of attention, so it opens up the floor, and we can generate, quality shots from that. And it gives us driving lanes because of his shooting ability, but also the threat at the rim. And then I thought our wings posting up helped us a lot too, so we didn't settle. And we can score a lot of different ways. So if something's not going well, just shift a little bit and recognize what's going on. I didn't think anyone was fighting the game. The game was telling us what to do, and I thought everyone read the game extremely well.
So some of the guys talked about the energy and effort Monday night. It looked like that was back on track today.
Yeah, and we got a great group of guys and they work at it. So over the course of the season, sometimes you're gonna stumble and you got to get back up and you got to refocus. And we went through a rough stretch on the road and lock into the recovery and do that, and then just find a way to win. And I think that's a big part of growing and learning. And so, I thought the first thing is just don't get down. Just get more determined. I think a big part of mental toughness is just having the belief that you can do things better. And if we lock into that, good things will come from it.
What are you learning from Shaman? He's getting some experience.
Yeah, he's getting his legs under him. That's what we liked about him in the preseason as well. You can execute with him. He makes the extra pass. He reads the floor well. He hustles on defense. He blocks out. He blocks cutters. He applies ball pressure. He challenges shots. He moves without the ball. So there are a lot of things that he does that aren't necessarily reflected in statistics, but they help the team function well.
Coach, going back to the wings posting, OG and McHale were able to get good kickouts.
Yeah.
Posting in the wing. How does that open up the offense?
Yeah, same thing. So principle of sound offense is forcing the defense to collapse. So the obvious is you dribble penetration and beating a team down the floor, but you can do the same thing, off a post up. And if you catch a mismatch and now they got a double team, now they're in rotation, and quality shots are going to come from that. Also opens up second shots for you. So, and we have big wings, and so we want to try to take advantage of that as much as we can.
Josh Hartman obviously does so much for you intensely in so many ways. What is he doing best for your team?
No, and you said it well. He does a lot of things well for the team, and it's, I think a big part of it is, the energy, and that's a talent, and to play hard. Obviously the rebounding, but the plays that where you can, get to a loose ball, chase down a rebound, and I like that he can push pace. I think it allows us to play fast, and when you play fast, you get easy baskets, and so I think that's huge for us.
So Cat obviously gets called for a lot of tic-tac, but on the other side, when guys are fouling him, he doesn't get the same benefit of the whistle. How do you talk him through the emotions that come with not?
Can you rephrase that?
He gets called for a lot of fouls, but when guys foul him, the whistle doesn't blow every time. So how do you?
Let me see if I understand that. See.
He's saying the fouls.
Yeah, because usually he's like attacking the rim in a straight line drive, and there's force, and he's going off 2 feet, and he's getting hit. Yeah, I think that's what you're saying. Yeah, I would agree.
Coach in a good mood, and why not? His 200th win as a Knicks coach. That is 5th all-time. He needs 24 to pass Pat Riley and move into 4th all-time. Coach in a good mood. He's very happy with his approach. He mentioned the Orlando game, not a lack of effort, but low energy. And obviously, Coach, much happier with his team's energy tonight.
Yeah, Karl Anthony Towns makes a big difference. Anunoby, notice how many dunks he got? 3-4 dunks because there's no rim protection.
Because Cat is moving the rim protection outside.
That's the value of having a stretch five. Josh Hart, when he drives to the basket, beats his man off the dribble. There's nobody waiting there for him under the basket to protect that rim, and he's a great finisher around the rim. So I just think with Cat out there, you kind of walk out there on the floor and you got your chest out a little bit, and you see the Raptors coming into town. You got a little extra juice for this one because of the trade between Anunoby and Barrett and Quickly, and the Knicks represented and played great basketball here at home. They defended home court the way they should tonight.
All right, OKC is here Friday tonight. OKC and Cleveland. Showdown. Welcome back. Next up for the Knicks. Remember, they lost at OKC on Friday night. OKC here in New York this Friday night. Showdown again. Pre-game at 7, game at 7:30. You can also stream our coverage on the Gotham Sports app. Karl Anthony Towns, we've talked a lot about all of the different things he does, Wally. The thing that really also deserves discussion is efficiency. He doesn't need a ton of shots. He only took 14 shots tonight to get his 27 points.
Well, when you make all your shots, that's what it leads to. And he takes good shots when in the offense. He doesn't force. He makes quick decisions. He's very talented. He's the reason why he was the #1 pick in the draft. And everyone was so excited when he went to Kentucky and they had that dominant team. And then he went to Minnesota and he's just put up numbers and, had a great career so far because he's got the complete package. Look at the handles. For a guy at 7 feet tall, to have that level of skill, I mean, not a lot of 7-footers can do the things that he does.
How about that secret?
Exactly.
Running the floor like that.
Running the floor, handling the ball. And then when he gets around the rim, he knows how to finish and uses long arms and length. But that's the most impressive part to me. That little flick of the wrist, the way he shoots the basketball. He's just such a smooth, rhythmic jump shooter. It's such a repetitive motion. If you're a young kid watching the Knicks play, copy Karl Anthony Towns' jump shot because that is the way the basketball is supposed to be shot.
It's almost like a set. It's not really he doesn't need
That's
to get.
the best way to do it.
Doesn't need to get
Larry
that high,
Bird,
right?
Ray Allen, you name it. All the best shooters, they don't shoot a jump shot because you never know what you're going to get out of your legs. Some days your legs are going to be fresh. Some days your legs are going to be tired. But when you soften up and just shoot it on your tiptoes and you just feel that little bit of bounce, that, to my experience, those are the best shooters that shoot that way.
When you're 5'7", doesn't work. OG Anunoby, another big game for him against his former team. Here he is now after the game.
One of the guys on this team who hasn't missed a game this year, and obviously all you've been through your career. How important is it for you to be available and to be able to be out there every single night?
I mean, I always try to be available, even in the past. So luckily, knock on wood, been able to be out there, and it's good.
Did it feel good to have the type of game that you had against your former team?
Yeah, but it's just another game.
It's not a game that you circle or
Don't circle that game. It's just another game.
Is it just another game when it's at the first 3-game losing streak of the season, though? There was a little something extra in the team tonight?
Oh, yeah, we definitely want to come out and be aggressive and, get back on track.
Seems like you guys came out with energy after the other night, saying it was kind of a low-energy start. What does that say about the group that you guys kind of put that behind you?
Oh, that we just, resilient group. We always respond, and we just move on.
The last 3 games that you guys had lost, the second halves were a little iffy. Tonight it wasn't. What was the difference in the second half?
It's just the emphasis from the players and the coaches just to come out strong and finish the game, not just like one good quarter or 2 good quarters, like 4 good quarters.
Yeah.
This is like the fourth, just another game question, but playing OKC again in a couple days. I mean, how big is that game? Just knowing how good they are and what happened a couple days ago in the OKC.
Because they're a great team, so it'll be a great test for us. And
it was said on the postgame that you're a guy that can find ways to steal points in a game, like in this game in particular. You stole like 10 points, meaning it's a steal, literally, or a play that may not have been called for you, but because you make a cut or anything like that. Do you think about things like that, like other ways to impact the game without a play being called for you?
Yeah, I tried to. I just try to read the game and see where I could do something.
A big game for Anunoby coming up. We'll set the stage for OKC coming into town on Friday night after this. Another win where the Knicks didn't need a ton of points from Jalen Brunson. He only scored 13. 7 assists for Brunson. Also had 6 rebounds. OKC is in town on Friday, and then a back-to-back at home. Bucks Sunday afternoon, and Detroit having a surprisingly good year Monday night before the Knicks go to Philly on Wednesday. We'll be back to wrap things up after this. Friday night at OKC, the Knicks got outscored by 18 in the fourth quarter and lost by 10. OKC back in town Friday night. They lost tonight, as we showed everyone on the 150 to Cleveland. Their 15-game winning streak over. What do we expect Friday?
It's a big game for the Knicks. This is an elite team in the league. Could have had them on their home floor. You got to beat them at home here at MSG. Hartenstein coming back into town. Knicks are going to be ready. They got the game right for Friday night.
All right, pregame at 7. OKC in town with the game coverage at 7:30. You can watch here or also stream on MSG Plus, now in the Gotham Sports app. Want more than just a post-game show? Link your eligible TV subscription to stream Knicks games free or subscribe today in the Gotham Sports app. Just go to gothamsports.tv to learn more.